Hey, this is Kurt the Boat Doctor, and I'm gonna give an extra hey to Chris. Oh, I forgot his last name. He's out of Washington. Toy something. No, it ain't Toy. Raymore. Ha! Chris Raymore. Hey, buddy. Now, that's a problem coming down here. I run into everybody. Hell, I've been here for an hour just bullshitting people. But anyway, here's how I tie it off. And what I do too is before I leave, sometimes a Marina or our dealership, we're not too far from here, or California Street or Empire Dock. So what I do normally, and I'll get to the ropes, but I put all this stuff on. I put the drain plugs in, I check the key, I check everything before I leave, make sure I got power, make sure I got fuel. Then, like I say, I go back here, make sure there's no stop, put down, or ram savers, and all the plugs are in. So the reason why I do that is because when it's this busy, there is a lot of people out for this time of year. They're probably crabbing. I don't know if the ocean, yeah, it looks like it flattened down a little bit, but that's where they must be, bottom fishing or something. So anyway, if I get all this stuff done there, when I get here, all I have to do is, if there's some people here and they see I'm ready, they let me go ahead of them, because I can get it in and out before they even back up their boat. But it's less things to remember when you get there, so you don't forget anything. So I load the boat up with everything I need. Like I say, put the bow line on, put the bumpers on, make sure the drain plug, check the fuel, check the keys, make sure everything's in there, because there's nothing worse than if you drive somewhere and you get there and you want to go tuna fishing or something, and you have to stop and go all the way back to get the keys for the boat, or you're missing a drain plug or something silly like that. But it's less, when there's a lot of people, less pressure too, because you can back up, you've done everything. The only thing you got to remember is to take off the winch strap and the safety chain, and that's it. So back to the rope deal. So I normally put the rope on first, because when I put the bumpers and when I tie these, that I run the rope here, I'll show you, like this, because every ramp's different, boat sizes are different. So I don't, like this boat here is, if you're going to be using this boat, you can tie a knot so that it's perfect when you do this. You know, you can just tie it off real quick and then you can just slip it over there. But by putting this rope on first, what I do there is I tie this. See how I can slip that? But I tie this off, you know, real quick like this, and just run it through and then bring it through here. Then you can slip it through here and then bring it down like this and lock it. But what this does is, if I put this on here like this, the bottom of that, and I use these G5 bumpers, the bigger ones, because the problem is if you use the small ones, as soon as it hits, it's going to fling back. It ain't going to do you any good, especially that one there. And you can come in, and I mean, I guarantee you ain't going to do any damage to your boat. But you get it up to there, then here, all I have to do is just twist this, go like this, then twist it again, go like that. And what that does now, say I tied this kind of loop, this rope onto here, but I do have it through there and pull down so it ain't going to come off. But say I just wrap this rope around here, tied it off like this, by putting this on, that pretty much will lock this, so this doesn't ever, you don't have to worry about it popping out. And here they need cleats. Okay, I had to tie it off to here. I would put, you don't want to put nothing here because that's a tubing, but you could put something right here. But if you put one right here, that would be ideal, because if you go here, because this area here, you have no protection, because it's right here, and if you hit, it's going to go like this. If you had something either here or here, this bumper is going to stick out, so it's going to protect here, because sometimes you got to come in hot with the bow, and if you turn, this part's exposed right here. So back to the rope. So now this one, you could use a little bit longer rope. I got like almost I think it's 35 feet, 40 feet would be enough. But with one rope like this, see how I got it tied off here? Like that, and I do that for a reason. And I'm telling you this, especially on the bigger boats that are heavy. But see how I got one rope like this right here. So now what I can do, being this long, say once I do put this thing in the water, say that front end goes out on me, and I have this, I can pull it back, that goes, I can pull it back. Then what I can do is take, so if you had 2 ropes, you know, that was loose, if you drop that, there goes your front end. You only have this rope. With this rope, you can always bring it back. So that's why I use a one rope system. So then you go like this, you run it through here, and a lot of times what I'll do, this boat ain't so crucial, but I'll take this and I'll run it up here, and I'll just put it up here. Okay, the reason I do that on a heavier boat, and then see, this is tied off, so it's tight. If I unhook that, I'm steep like this, that boat can take off. This is still connected, right? Now, if I unconnect that, okay, if say I left it on, that's a good example, and I didn't do what I'm going to show you right here, that I'd wrap it right here, because then I could hold on to this boat like this, or I could actually step on it like this, and this was off like this, or here, and that would stop the boat, basically, right there. So then I could disconnect that. But if you didn't have something to stop that boat like this would stop it, then that, if that wasn't unhooked, is going to go, and there goes your boat with your winch line. But here I can stop it and then disconnect it. Then I have this, I can release this and pull this up real quick, and then I have my bow line. That boat could take off, and there you go. I got control of it. I don't know if that made a lot of sense, but that's why I do this. Now, say this was a shorter line, and I still had one, but it was shorter. It was kind of like this, and I couldn't wrap that around what I just showed you. Then I would take another rope, and this is the safest way to do it, because sometimes you run out of rope, because what you do is you go to the dock, you rip this around, and you can retie it to a cleat like this one. I could go down tight and then come back up and just do this, and then pull that around there and do it to the cleat over here. But sometimes you don't have enough rope. So then what you do is take this one, and this is how I said you can tie them off. This one's already braided, but you can take this, I can get it fed through there. There. There you go. See, and then you can just do this, and it ain't gonna come off. Like that. Then what you can do is take this and just put all the excess rope up on top. But when you undo this, you could take this, tie it off to the back of the ramp, just enough to where this boat will hang up where the bow is to the end of the trailer. Then this, when I got the boat back in, I'll figure the length of the boat is right here. I'd wrap that around, tie that off. Then when I get the back of the boat into the water, because then if the boat did take off, the bow is going to be just still sitting on them bunks back there, so it has nowhere to go. And I'll take a picture when I get down there as well to explain it to you. Be a little bit easier. But one rope, if you had, let's say 40 feet on this boat, you would have enough to where you could do what I'm doing with 2 ropes. But anyway, this could come in handy, and I'll just spool it right up to here, and I'll show you when I get down in the water. Boat Doctor out.